Well, perfect. Well, it is about time to get this kicked off. I appreciate everybody who is jumping on today. Just want to kind of touch on, kind of, as you guys know, we're transitioning from track over to Guesty. And so we figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of showcase some of the new features within the owner portal, kind of walk through, kind of the introductory phases of that. But before we do kind of jump into that, I've gotten the pleasure to speak with a few of the owners in the call now, but I haven't got a chance to meet with all of you. I'm Ken. I've been working with Matt and the team for a while, helping out with kind of the revenue side of things. But I've recently jumped on board. As the director of revenue and marketing. So I imagine that quite a few of you I'll be corresponding with over the next few months. And so this is an awesome opportunity for me to meet and chat with a lot of you all. And I'm of course joined by the wonderful Cozy / Stay Texas team here, but wanted to also give my esteemed co-host Robert just a chance to introduce himself and just introduce himself to you guys. So Robert, let you have a few seconds here to introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Robert. I'm the GM here. I'm joined by Morgan. She's our Director of Hospitality, and Maricela. She's our Chief of Staff. We just wanted to say hi, and we're here to support you guys. We won't take up too much time because I know there's a large presentation, and I want to make sure there's ample time for question and answers during the transition. Period of transition for us as well, but it's all basically to strengthen the organization and make sure there's ample opportunity for future growth. And Guesty is a fantastic software, and I think you're going to find it a lot more user-friendly. And I'm sure Ken and Jerry and Anna will go into it, so I'm going to turn it back over to them. I won't take up too much time.
Yeah.
But happy to be here, folks.
Awesome. Yeah, super excited. So kind of to outline the agenda for the day, I'm going to our wonderful Miss Anna from our owner relations team, who all of you have probably had the pleasure of interacting with, has put together a little bit of a video of her kind of walking through step by step of the new owner portal here at Guesty. It is much more, I think, user-friendly than Track. I think it's going to be a great tool for you guys kind of moving forward. And so the goal of this is just very introductory, let you guys get familiar with the platform, kind of see at high level. Definitely don't shy away. I want a large chunk of today to be you guys asking questions, us providing answers, and a nice conversation back and forth with you guys. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna mute, and that way I can flip my screen around. You guys get to hear this wonderful video that Anna recorded. Then we'll jump back in and kind of give you guys a little bit of a chance to ask us some questions. So. Okay, and I'm gonna hit play here. If you guys have any problem hearing or anything like that, just feel free to let me know, okay?
Welcome to your Guesty Owner Portal training. In this video, you'll be able to learn how to activate your Guesty account to your owner portal, as well as get a general overview on what information you can find in your Guesty portal. First, to access and create your Guesty Owner Portal account, visit your email where you will receive an email from Guesty. Once you locate that email, press Go to Portal and generate your password. Hit Create User. Now once you have selected your password. Once you enter your owner portal, you will have access to all your properties right under My Properties. There, if you click, you will be able to see your calendar. All these items will be represented by this key above, showing any reservations that are confirmed, any blocks where the property is unavailable, any owner stay, and as reservations for the different booking channels start to come in, they will be represented by different colors in the key above. In the analytics section, you will be able to see all the bookings for the year, in a summary above. Number of booked nights, net rental income, and your estimated owner revenue for the year. You will be able to see per month your total revenue, number of booked nights, and net rental income, as displayed here by the August and September mock reservations we have created for this property. To view all your reservations, you can access your reservation report. Here, you are able to see all the confirmed reservations your property has gotten. You can see by listing, by confirmation code, source of the reservation, check-in, check-out dates, and owner revenue for that specific reservation. In order to see the most recent ones, you are able to adjust and organize them however you see fit. In addition, you are able to download a report. In the Documents section, you will see a display of all the documents, including your owner agreement, as you currently can see in Track. Next, in the Accounting section, you will be able to see all your statements as they are generated. Currently, there are no statements generated. For all your previous information, all your previous statements, they will also be uploaded in the Documents section. Now that we have seen the basic details of the platform, let's learn how to create an owner reservation. To create an owner reservation, you must visit My Properties tab, open your calendar for the unit that you would like to use, click the plus button, select your dates, in this space you can add any comments that you like the owner relations team to know, such as no clean required. And press reserve. Here you now have your owner reservation confirmed. In addition, you can edit or cancel your owner reservations from your portal. In order to edit or cancel, select the owner reservation that you would like to adjust. You can select to change the dates or change the notes. Press update. Or cancel. And the dates of the canceled reservation will become available. For additional assistance, you can visit the Help Center with various useful articles on how to use the portal, or feel free to contact the State Texas Owner Relations Department. We'll be happy to help.
Awesome. And just want to clarify before we kind of jump into the question and answer portion of this. I know that probably generated a ton of questions because that is a lot of information. We will be sharing this video with you guys as well as additional training once over the coming weeks as far as talking on our owner portal. Really just wanted to give you guys kind of the initial steps and kind of that really broad overview for what's going to be upcoming with the Guesty Owner Portal. So again, we'll be sharing this video with you guys, as well as getting you guys over the course of the next week login information and all that fun stuff, so you guys can get in once we go live. So just want to clarify those things, as I know that is a lot of information there. But I did want to open this up. I know looks like Greg, you had a question. I want to open this up to you guys, see what questions you guys have, and see how we can kind of direct and help you guys kind of as we journey into this Guesty world.
Greg, and to address your question, will historical rental information be brought over to the new reservation system? That's the goal. We are currently working in transitioning all that information. With statements, as I mentioned in the video, we won't be able to generate statements within the system, but we will bring over all your statements into the document section so that you have that information there. And in addition, we are looking into transferring all the previous reservations, so that you can keep that historical information for you and us as well, so that we can have an accurate track on how your property has been performing.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Great question, Greg. Joey, it looks like you had a question.
Is there going to be a way to open like a maintenance or other work request ticket through this software? Right now, you send an email to partner support or to your property manager. It would be nice to be able to open a ticket through this software. So I'm wondering if that's on the way. I didn't see it in the preview.
Joey, we are in conversations with Guesty to see if we can have that added. Currently, it's not a capability that the owner portals have. In addition, owner guest reservations are also not a capability that they have, but we are working with them to make sure that we can bring that on as we move forward. And part of the main reason why we are moving to Guesty, not only is it more user-friendly in general terms, but also they are often changing and often improving the service, which is something that we hadn't been able to do with Track. So that is one of the reasons that we are going with Guesty. And we hope that we are able to bring in all these features. So any recommendations, any features that you don't like as you start to use the system, we definitely take those recommendations to them, and we will work with them so that we can generate.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that a little bit, I think that's a huge benefit to transitioning over to Guesty is, having a voice. Guesty is an ever-growing, evolving company that is putting a lot of investment resources in bettering the world for us on the property management side. So I'm actually super excited to have a voice and be heard, and to be able to take a lot of this feedback and actually apply it to actual changes within the product moving forward. So actually super excited about that. Rick, you have a question, my friend. Looks like you're muted.
Okay, is that better?
Yep, can hear you now, my friend.
Okay, thanks, Ken. Thanks, Anna. Hey, I got a quick question. Is this going to be the same as Tracker, where like you have a reservation right at the end of the month? Let's say the end of the month's the 30th. Your reservations ends on the 30th. Therefore, that income would be included that month, or does it go like if your reservation ends at the let's just say you check out on the 1st, okay, and then that income is not included till the following month? How does that work?
That will actually stay the same, Rick. That is more for accounting purposes, because since we work with the OTAs, with the booking engines, we don't actually receive the money into our account once that reservation checks out. So we wouldn't be able to account for that money in the previous month if they checked out, say, a reservation that booked on June 29th and checked out on July 1st. So that's why we keep it that way, and that is the way that it's going to continue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and Guesty is much more of it. That is more easily visible, I think, within Guesty and some of those charts that Anna was showing off in that video. We'll be able to see that translate, I think, a lot easier than in track. So,
Okay.
but appreciate that question. Great question, Rick.
Yeah, thank you, Ken.
And I do have an additional comment. Guesty, we're gonna bring you on. You're gonna have access to it. We're working right now to transition all the information into Guesty, but you will continue to have access to track for a little while so that they overlap and we make sure that Guesty is working properly before we let go. So we do have that cushion period, let's say, where we can work with both systems.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Thanks for that, Anna. Yeah. Looks like we have a question, and I'll let you tackle this one first, Anna, and then I'll kind of piggyback. Will the system show a break? This is from Eric. Will the system show a breakdown of revenue to show rental rates, not in any additional revenues, say for things like excess guest or pet fee, etc.?
We are working on setting that up. We do want to show pet fees or any fees that you get, such as hot tub, if you take care of the maintenance of it. And we're trying to work with Guesty to get that set up for you guys. So more to come on that, but for right now, it's a work in progress.
Definitely, again, one of the big benefits to shifting to Guesty is a lot of that stuff is a little bit more malleable than in track. And so that's ultimately, our ultimate goal is to work towards ultimate transparency within the owner portal and have a clear breakdown of revenue generated, expected revenue, things like that. So definitely working towards that. And I think it's something that is definitely feasible in going into the future. So great question though, Eric. Great question so far. What else do you guys have as far as questions? Absolutely. Jody.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, when I look at my reservations, I'm always monitoring ahead. Like for June, I would put the dates, the first and the last date of the month, and try to see where I'm going and how it's tracking for the money coming up. But it never shows a total. Like if you do that, it just shows all the reservations. Is there any way that would total that up, or is there a way that'll show differently or populate differently? Like if you select the next 2 months or the next 30-day period and see what that is looking like? Yeah, I asked to add them up with my calculator. I was just curious if there is an option for that.
Actually, if you access the analytics section, right at the top, it's gonna give you a monthly breakdown, a yearly breakdown for that year. But as you saw, I don't know if you noticed, there was a chart right there. If you click for the month, it's gonna show you the totals for that month in owner estimated revenue, in amount of bookings that you have. And I think that's the general information you can look for. Again, we're looking to add more information, perhaps the amount of pets the amount of reservations that had pets for that month. But yes, you can do that. See that total right there. I don't know if you can forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Right there.
So yeah,
Okay.
just hovering over August, you'll be able to kind of see that from a top level. And then if you want to peel back, then you can go into your reservation report and see it kind of itemized from there.
And the benefit is that you can download that.
Mm-hmm.
There's the part you can press where it says CSV, or even in the reservations report, you're going to have your owner revenue. So you can download that as well and just play with it in Excel. Do a formula and that will do the add-up. Of course.
Really good question though, for sure. Joey, absolutely. Go ahead, my friend.
I recently talked to Morgan, I think, about there being a document per property that is essentially the quality control document that has certain standardized things for cozy, and then on a case-by-case basis, as a particular owner says, oh, at this particular property, please check XYZ. Is that going to live in that document tab? Because people like me who move on very quickly and forget things, that would be a great place to find that.
Could you repeat your question? You're talking about specifics for your properties, as
I
in
don't know what
amendments?
I don't know what it's called, Morgan, but that document that you sent me,
Yeah.
is it gonna live in the document tab of the owner portal, or does it have to just be something that I get that I request from Morgan?
Yeah, Anna, what he's talking about, we had a conversation previously on Breezeway. There's owner reporting within Breezeway to allow him to see the inspection report that's happened on his property, the cleaner report that's happened on his property. So Joey, Breezeway is a separate entity to Guesty. It's not going to be something that's downloaded into Guesty, but it is something that I can turn on for you so you can receive those reports weekly or monthly. And you and I can connect on that one.
Okay. Breezeway, Guesty.
And then Guesty. Yes, sir.
And
So
for
operations
everyone-
is very
Yeah.
Breezeway. Sorry, Anna. Operations is Breezeway, and that's kind of what we're going to start working towards. And then Guesty, of course, is the reservations, the owner portals, all the other stuff outside of operations.
Okay, and then for a while now, I've been hearing about a new website. So does that launch when we get the Guesty invite? Are they Are they on sort of correlated but unrelated tracks?
Yeah, no, great question there, Joey. We're pushing forward with both kind of simultaneously. The website will be staggered a little bit behind the Guesty launch. So we're going to launch Guesty and make sure there's no, work out all the potential issues there. I think it's going to be a pretty knock on wood seamless launch. But we're looking at launching Guesty next week and then probably staggering it where the website would launch about a week after that. So there'll be a little bit of a staggered launch there just to make sure that everything looks good in Guesty, feed it over to the new website launches.
Okay.
So really great question there. Mr. Rick.
Hey, Ken, and by any chance, is Guesty offered on the phone app?
Yes, sir, it is. And I haven't had a chance to play with it, but it looks very user-friendly.
Good.
So also one of the benefits that we went with Guesty for. I will make sure to get some videos on that as well so that we can have that guide for you guys.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that a little bit of a spoiler looking forward, as that's kind of one of the major things we're wanting to make sure you guys are comfortable with the mobile app. One of the things I'm most excited about is it seems pretty easy to go in really quickly and make a reservation. Like if you're out and about and you're like, oh, I need to block off the property for this upcoming weekend, it seems a lot more seamless and easy to do that from the Guesty app, which I'm one of the features I'm most excited about. So.
Okay, I'm piggybacking on Joey's earlier question too about it would be nice as owners if we can block off our own maintenance schedule instead of calling in or sending an email.
Yeah, definitely. We want to give you guys as much access, as possible. I think, we definitely love chatting with all of you as much as possible, but we also realize you guys have a busy day and are juggling a lot of different things. And so our ultimate goal is to give you guys access to as many tools as possible. That way you can, schedule maintenance, block off your property, all those fun things without with basically taking out that middleman. So that way you're corresponding with us whenever you need something that's maybe a little bit higher level than, just, hey, I need to come and fix XYZ for the weekend. So,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Great questions, Eric. And we have a few questions which are awesome. I have one in the chat, and then we'll have a couple people waiting. I'll toss this one to you, Miss Anna. For this from Eric as well. Will there be a way to know what our unbooked nights are currently being advertised, like the Cozy site used to show?
Within Guesty, that's not an option right now. With the new website, we're hoping to have that calendar back. I know something broke at some point, and those rates were not available anymore. but we're definitely working towards getting that back for you guys.
And then we have a couple questions here. See, Joey, your hand was up first, so I'll toss it over to you, my friend.
Thanks. Am I on?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, you can hear me. It would be nice in this portal if you could have like a bio for folks who work at Cozy. Right now, those exist in newsletters, which one could search in one's email. But if you're like me and you get a little confused sometimes, I'm like, okay. So, and also the names, some people are joining the team. So, you know, if you had like a chart, you know, your owner relations team is Anna, Sophia, Andrea, maybe that's the whole team. And, you know, now that I've spoken to Morgan, I kind of got that in my head, but just a lay out there, and even some of the information that you put into the newsletter that's, you know, about them and what they do for the company. That would be helpful as you continue to get bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's honestly, that's really, really good feedback and something we can kind of take and run with. And, you know, that's something we can, you know, sit and spitball how we can better communicate that with you guys and almost keep that as a flow of reference. So that way it's not something where ideally, Joe, you're not having to go through and dig through for newsletters to keep up with you know, staffing or as we continue to grow, org changes or anything like that. So definitely some really, really good feedback, and definitely something I think we can figure out how we want to take action on that. So love that.
And the where applicable, like a phone number, because I'm still confused why there's a different text phone number than there is a phone number for talking to owner relations. And I have to go in my phone, and I think I saved it as something like, this is the line that you text owner relations. That's the contact information.
No, I can speak to that. We're actually transitioning to a different phone system that's going to integrate better with Guesty, and it will be unified. So
Okay.
when that happens, we'll notify everyone, and there'll be one number for everything.
Well, that sounds swell.
Yeah. I'm getting it worked on, sir. It's going to launch the same time as Guesty on the 25th. So everything will integrate over, and it'll be one unified inbox. And the same goes for guest hospitality, just so everyone knows. So when guests do reach out, there'll be one unified inbox, and they'll be able to have more continuity and a more seamless handoff between guests. So everything actually gets unified on the 25th.
So do I need to change that phone number, or is it going to be one of the two phone numbers?
It will still be one of the. It'll be one of those two phone numbers, and there'll be an email coming out to notify you of which.
Okay, cool.
Then you can get rid of that other one.
Yep, you can update your contacts there, Joey. Perfect, awesome, really good feedback though. Miss Denise, I know you've had your hand up for a while, so hopefully your arm's not getting tired. But I'll let you run with this one.
Okay, we have our own website for our properties that allows them to book, and when they go into book, it directs them straight to the Cozy website. So I've got to get that changed with my IT guy, but if while you're changing over, is there going to be an overlap there if it directs them to the Cozy website to book? At what point do I need to try to get it over to the Guesty so that they can book from my website?
Yeah, let me chat through that one with you, Miss Denise. I think that's going to be relatively seamless. I think like from the Cozy site, whenever we swap over, it's not like the Cozy site's going to be inoperable. You know, we're just going to be driving most of our traffic to the new website, but the old Cozy site will still be in operation. So let me get with you as far as timing that up. I want to make sure there's no kind of delay or anything there, but it should be relatively seamless as far as there's not going to be, you know, any dead links or anything like that. So I don't think it's anything to worry about, but I will get with you on the timing and make sure that's seamless as possible. So, and I'll get you the links you'll need and everything like that to funnel them to the new website as well.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Ed.
Other than helping us doing the business of doing business together as a group, and being able to generate reports and things like that to make it much easier. The question I have, through this process, is this going to generate more income across the board because of cost savings or anything of that nature, where it would improve the total number of rentals? I guess you'd better be able to explain that better than I would be able to articulate it right now.
Yeah, I think that one of the largest benefits and one of the reasons they're kind of coinciding together is, I think as we launch the new website, we're really going to be looking to drive a lot more direct traffic. So being, ultimately less reliant on, we're still going to we can't completely cut out Airbnb or the VRBOs of the world. But if we could ultimately become more self-reliant on internal bookings and people coming directly to our website, that cuts costs significantly. And Guesty directly helps us do that. I think their booking engine's significantly better. It integrates more seamlessly with our new website than Track does, and it also is continually almost future proofing. Whereas transparently, Track I think had quit investing in kind of growing that platform and pushing that forward. Guesty is really kind of foot on the gas. Let's grow, and I think that's going to help us. Kind of that launch coincided with our website, but so ultimately the desire, drive more bookings coming through State Texas, less on Airbnb, which cuts out those pretty exorbitant third-party fees that we have to pay right now. So that's the ultimate goal with it. And then as we continue to grow, we want to just be less dependent on that. So that ultimately does drive more revenue, cuts some of that cost out with some of these OTAs we're leaning on, like the Airbnbs of the world. So to answer your question in a very long-winded way, I think ultimately it does drive more revenue, Ed.
It seemed that would be the right direction, because there's going to be so big change. I noticed on what you showed us already, it's comparable to each other as far as with some extras in there. But what is the driving force behind the change? And I think you explained that quite well. And then moving forward, is that going to actually, because everybody on this phone right now, their main drive is, I have this property, it's a big investment to me, and what is the payback for me getting into this system with you guys? All right, so enough of that. Thanks.
Yeah, no, great question, Ed. I think ultimately everybody's drive is, everybody wants more revenue at the end of the day. Even us as a company, I mean, this is a significant cost investment for us, and we wouldn't be making that cost investment if we didn't long term see that it was going to be a revenue generator for us as far as helping our bottom line. So super excited.
If I may add to that, we're also working on our CRM. This is something that we're hoping will allow us to get more leads. Because of the way we manage our leads currently, there's some leads that are falling through the cracks. And we want to capture as many leads that come in. We want to make sure that we are sending our marketing in a lot more seamless manner. And by improving our CRM, by rebranding our company towards State Texas, we are looking to target a more specific population that is looking to come to us. Cozy, for example, it's a very generic term, and it's something that you can find all over the United States. So by the rebranding, by creating or transitioning toward all these new platforms, we are able to create more seamless systems and make sure that we're capturing all the leads that we can to generate more revenue for everyone.
Yeah, great follow-up there, Anna. Joey.
Sorry, not trying to monopolize the
no, keep it coming, my friend.
I have lots of ideas, so it would be great if this could function as, for lack of a better word, a shared drive between you and your property management team. For example, and maybe this is a breakaway. Is it called breakaway? The maintenance one, breakdown.
It's Breezeway.
Breezeway.
There you go.
and that's probably, again, not possible. But for example, I have a well, and from time to time, might share information with Courtney about how the well works. I have photographs of the well. One time it was like, we have to shut the water off, and I sent her a photograph where the valve was. Right now that lives in text. And it'd be a lot cooler if it was like well folder, open, and everybody can see the picture right there. Or a place where I upload a list of people I prefer that you use as repairs, or like the name and contact information of my pest guy, because it's the only vendor that you don't directly supervise. Is there a way that we could use a software for that instead of it being a sort of text heavy process?
Yes, sir, and that is definitely something that we can bring into Breezeway. We are looking into creating profiles for each property, and we can add all that property specific information in there so that any team members who need to access it will be able to.
Okay, but to get information from me into that system, I still have to send it through someone.
In that sense, yes, it needs to come to us.
Not like this where I'm in the portal and I could upload it, but so who do you work with to do that?
That would be owner relations.
You guys. Okay.
You
Okay.
send us all the information, and
look,
this is the world of this is the world of integration right now. We are looking into ways to integrate the systems so they can communicate with each other. But right now we're trying to make sure that they function independently properly.
Mm-hmm.
And later on we will try to move into integrating them so that all that information can be shared without any or with minimum interaction with a user, with
Mm-hmm.
us. But right now, let's any information that needs to come for operations or anyone else in the company, it can come to owner relations, and we will make sure that it's relayed and placed exactly where it needs to go. Any specific property specific information that we currently have, we're trying to capture all of it and put it into those property profiles.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because as you said, a lot of it is in text. So
Right.
we don't know what we have. Any information that you guys feel that hasn't been discussed in a long time or that we might not have, definitely feel free to send it to us, and we'll make sure it's added where it needs to be added.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Open it back up to the room. What other questions do you guys have? Really appreciate kind of the questions that have been asked, and love kind of these more free flow discussions that kind of let us kind of chat and get to know, kind of each other, talk about future plans, talk about immediate plans, all that fun stuff. So definitely want to make sure you guys have appropriate time to kind of ask some questions now. Doesn't mean, if you guys, if we get off this call and a question pops up, you're like, oh shoot, I should have asked that. We're still available, but definitely while we're here on the call, if anybody has absolutely anything, would love to kind of chat through it. Okay, seems like everybody might be good for now. So what we'll kind of do, kind of moving forward. Whoops, go ahead, Miss Jeannie.
You might be muted.
Yeah, are you muted? It looks like you raised your hand. Okay. Well,
Maybe she needs to push her space bar.
yeah. Looks like the hand was lowered, so maybe it was accidental. I'll reach out to you, Miss Jeannie, and make sure you don't have any questions. But yeah, again, really appreciate the turnout today. I think this is super important as we are transitioning into these new systems and we're learning. Definitely want to make sure the communication, it's open between us and you guys, and vice versa. So any questions that come up after this, any feedback, feel free to shoot that over. We'll kind of be doing over the course of the next week. We're going to be making sure and doing as much of a deep dive into this portal and making sure all the data is looking correct on our side. And then we'll start to roll out, once we go live, we'll start to roll out kind of login informations, be sending over some of these videos so you have these for reference, and then kind of moving forward with any additional training that might be needed, kind of like we kind of talked about, like the mobile app and things like that. We kind of rolling that forward as we continue to push forward. So a lot of really exciting things going on right now that I think are really going to ultimately, at the end of the day, we could be pushing out a bunch of exciting stuff, but if the ultimate goal isn't ultimately to drive more revenue, I think that's the ultimate goal that everybody has. So we're making the moves to do that, and definitely excited to continue to correspond with you guys over the course of the next coming weeks as we roll into Guesty, launch the new website, and all the fun and exciting stuff we're kind of doing on the back end to kind of work to grow that. So if there's not any additional questions, I'll let you guys go a little bit early from our kind of allotted time. But again, appreciate so much. And if you need absolutely anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, we're always here for you guys, okay?
Thank you all, and thank you, Ken.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great day.